Okay, welcome to the 8th grade Gemara videos. This is actually the first video that we're learning the text. So this is Masechta Shabbos. It's Daf Ayin Gimel Amud Aleph. It's the 7th perek, the second mission of the 7th perek. We're just going to do a few of the malachas now. We're starting from Masnisen, which means our Mishnah. And let's begin. It says, Avis malachas arbaim chasarachas. Avis comes from the word av, which is a father, and malachas means work. But what it means is the main activities which are forbidden on Shabbos. The main work which is forbidden on Shabbos is 40 types of work minus 1. 40 minus 1 is 39. The reason why it doesn't tell us 39, this is a question that Taisus Yom Tov discusses, and there are several answers. One of them is that by Malchus, which is lashes, the pasuk says that Arboim Yakenu, you hit him 40 times. And when the Mishnah discusses it, it says that it's 39, but it uses the word of the pasuk Arboim, and it says Arboim Chasarachas. So basically 39 is now is called Arboim Chasarachas in the Mishnah, and when it comes to Shabbos, we use that same term for this number. Arboim Chasarachas is 39. So the first malachas is part of Sidura de Pas, the order of how bread is made, and anyone that would have a farm would be growing grain to make bread would know that this is the order, or basically the order, and it's the logical order of how it works. The first thing you have to do is to plow and to plant the seeds. The interesting thing is our Mishnah starts off with planting, which means zereya is to sow, is to plant, and the second one is to plow. The Gemara is going to ask, why is this out of order? But everything is basically in order. So there's the planting of the seeds, hazireya is number 1. V'hachoresh is the plowing of the field, which is number 2, which means any sort of improvement to the ground goes under plowing. Any assistance to the growth goes under planting. So let's say grafting or pruning would go under planting, leveling the earth or digging a hole would go under plowing, and after that, after the grain grows, then you would have kaitzer, you would have to harvest, which is to reap, to cut it off. Va'amamer, you would have to bundle it. You would bundle it with a string, tie a string around it. This is done in the field, and then it dries there. After it's dried, then you would have to take it out of its husk. You would thresh it. Vahadosh is to thresh. Vazoira is to winnow. What you would do now is you would have to separate what you threshed from the husks, from the chaff, the pieces that came off from the grain. You would have to throw it into the air and let the wind blow away the chaff. I highlighted that because that's one type of separating. There's 3 types of separating that we have here. I just wanted to point that out. Habayrer is another type of separating, is when you separate the dirt from the grain. A teichen is now you have to grind the grain. V'amarakid is to sift the grain into flour. V'alosh is to knead. I changed colors here. To knead it is to mix the flour with water to make the dough. And va'oifa is to bake. Okay, the explanation for these 3 types of sorting or separating, Rashi tells us, is either done with an instrument. Hazoira, which is to winnow, is barachas, with a shovel type of instrument. You would use a shovel to throw it into the wind, l'ruach, to the wind. Boirer is to separate the psilas, which is the not good part. Biyadav, it's done by hand. Rashi's differentiating with the type of instrument that's used. It's either with a shovel or by hand. Maraked, which is sifting, is done with a sifter, with a nafa. And that would explain why it says 3 times separating. Depends how it's done. Let's stop right here, and we'll continue this more in detail in class.